Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Zane RX, where you guys will be getting a dosage of me every week. So today we're talking about nurse bullying. And nurse bullying is one of my worst pet peeves, okay? So if you're interested, stay tuned. So nurse bullying, okay, that is a topic that I feel like is very problematic, especially in the career that I'm in the profession that we're in as nurses, as healthcare workers. We go through this almost all the time. I don't think that we really address how much it impacts us. And honestly, now that I am an agency nurse, I feel like I experience it way more than I ever did when I was a staff nurse at my hospital when I first started. We don't always treat each other very well at work, right? Which causes feelings of isolation as well. And I'm definitely not putting all of us nurses in a box, but I do feel like there are many kind and compassionate, caring nurses out there. And each of us has experienced communication and relationship challenges with other nurses in the workplace. And I feel like, honestly, in the best cases, it's a few snippy comments, but on the worst cases, it's like full-on aggression and just straight up bullying. And when they say nurses eat their young, it's not an exaggeration, y'all. I mean, honestly, almost half of nurses say that they have faced workplace bullying, and it is sending good nurses packing at a time that we need it now more than ever. I honestly feel like if changing this feels harder than it needs to be, you're not alone and I'm not alone either. Talking about it can often feel very intimidating, but this is a safe space to actually have this conversation, okay? And understanding the behavior is an important first step on the path to putting a stop to it. And I would really love for all of you guys to comment down below any nurse bullying incidents that you may have experienced yourself, and give others the courage to speak up and offer tips. And it will probably help someone just tremendously. When we start nursing, you know, after nursing school, especially for the new grads, they need to know that they have someone around that is experiencing the same thing. It is so lonely when you first start out and you're not starting with a friend, you're on a new floor. You know, nurses who are very timid and everything, or just introverted, or again, new and fresh to this, they need to know that there's someone else who has also experienced this, but then again, they've also overcome this as well. So what does nurse bullying look like? It's a micromanaging approach. It's negative criticism. It's rumors and gossip. It's passive, aggressive behavior, such as withholding information, sabotage, and retaliation. And all of that can be used. There's also blatantly just aggressive stuff that happens, like name calling, public insults, and being threatened. These are physiological consequences of the bullying, and those who are bullied report feeling humiliated, vulnerable, threatened, and stressed, which I feel like undermines their whole self-esteem and confidence. But most importantly, more than 3/4 of nursing students say that they have been bullied in nursing school and actually expect it when they graduate. Like, that's crazy. First of all, nurse bullying has been talked about. Nurses that eat their young has been a topic from the very beginning, from when you start nursing school to the very end. So it's almost kind of like we're conditioned to just expect that. You know what I mean? Like after graduation, it's like,
you know, it's a scared little new nurse, and it's just like, okay, we know that they're very young and we're ready.
No, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. And I know me being who I am, I'm like, I'm tough. I can handle whatever. I was so intimidated because I did not want to come off as that nurse that no one wanted to work with. You know, I didn't want to be the young that got 8, basically, okay? I was not looking forward to that experience. It's really just, it can be super stressful, and it's just like, for what? For no reason. Like, I don't get it. According to the American Journal of Nursing, there were several bully archetypes that were identified, such as super nurses. Oh my God. They're characterized by like condensation and just having like this elite and like superior attitude, and they tend to hold grudges and create a lot of drama. Then you have cliquish nurses who use their exclusivity, honey, to create hierarchy. And I just feel like in this case, what and who have not really been clarified. Surely no one wakes up in the morning and consciously like decides to bully their coworkers, but it happens. And I just want to know what causes this behavior. There are a few common theories behind nurse bullying, and it's feeling disrespected. You know, administrators and physicians often mistreat or bully nurses, like undermining or criticizing and just belittling them, us. The expectation is that nurses will often defer to physicians. Others feel that their intelligence, experience, and ability to provide patient care are also being questioned. So due to the uneven power dynamics and the lack of an outlet to express those frustrations, I feel like some nurses may lash out at others with whom they feel more comfortable for reasons like irritability, insecurity, or embarrassment. You know, it's not the healthiest of working environments when there are understaffing, patient crisis, and hours without water or snacks. These situations can cause tension between coworkers. You have emotions like anxiety, stress, and grief can result in a nurse unintentionally acting like a bully. The first step in stopping bullying behavior begins with identifying what drives the bullying behavior in ourselves and our colleagues. And I feel like we need to take responsibility for that, especially in the workplace. A manager or physician is nearly as likely to bully a nurse as a fellow nurse themselves. In units and floors with more authority, that can lead to a sanctioning effect where I feel like bullying is often normalized or even expected. And nurses who interact with one another in a toxic environment are impacted when leaders use threats, intimidation, or high levels of criticism to manage them. Nurse bullying can also be more difficult to address in this case because nurses are often powerless to stop the bullies, who are definitely authority figures for sure. And the first step is to document that harassment, to become familiar with your organization's harassment policies. Number one. Okay. Nurses strive for advancement and we're eager to display our skills, honey. You know, and there can be competition and put downs when there aren't enough opportunities for everyone to succeed. So workplace bullying isn't unique to just nursing. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, right? It specifically thrives in competitive environments, for sure. Moreover, bullying is particularly prevalent in professions dominated by women. While men may bully too, their aggression appears to be equilateral, whereas women oftentimes target other women. Ultimately, nurse bullying occurs from nurse frustrations and a feeling of being like disrespected and stretched thin. And there's another important aspect of nurse bullying that we really don't discuss quite often, and that's like the roles of bullying. You have the bully and you have the victim, but you also have the bystander. No matter how confident we are that we're not bullies ourselves, like, can we really state that with 100% that we're not bystanders? So that's a hard question, and that's a question that I want you to answer yourself and explore, because our administrators and colleagues are beyond our control, right? But we can control our own actions. Without the approval of an audience, bullying doesn't have the same impact. It can still cause harm, obviously. Bystanders who see it and do nothing is what turns it into an organizational and systemic problem overall. We can all play a part in decreasing the bullying by standing up for each other, by raising awareness, bystander awareness. And you don't have to go, you know, too crazy with it and hold up signs, but a quick statement in support of a colleague can diffuse the situation before it gets worse. And the fact is, oftentimes it's the bully who needs our support the most. And I'm not giving them a slap on the wrist and just saying like, hey, go right on ahead and just keep doing you. You know, I just feel like a helping hand or a kind word can prevent the negative behavior from spiraling and starting if the colleague is stressed, burned out, or under criticism from their supervisors. And while nurses can be bullied, there are often more complicated dynamics at play. And urging everyone to just get along may not always be the best way to deal with this. So what motivates employees in particular organizations must be considered. The way we relate to fellow nurses and how they relate to us may be influenced by the experiences we have with others in the unit, such as administrators and physicians, as well as whether we feel supported or undercut, collaborative or siloed. Relationships at the workplace won't improve overnight. I feel like if we have teammates who are difficult to work with, or even if we have been the teammate who was difficult to work with. Okay, that's something to think about. We can slowly work on repairing those relationships. And I feel like nurse bullying is so common, but it does not mean that it makes it okay or acceptable. So whether it's criticism or gossip, insults, or just plain old disrespect, nurse bullying can stem from competition, organizational culture, and feeling overwhelmed and freaking stressed. So at the end of the day, we're all in this together, y'all. And we can reduce and prevent nurse bullying by lifting each other up rather than putting each other down. If you're going through something with an individual at work, on your shift, on your unit, go to them directly first. That's my tip to do. Always follow chain of command, right? You go to that person, you go directly to the source and you let them know, hey, we need to have a discussion. We need to talk about what's going on. Why are you treating me like this? What have I done to you to make you feel like, you know, whatever? Or what can I do actually to help? You know, help you. Is there something that I did that you felt the need to, you know, treat me like that? That's the first thing that you do. If you do that and the issue is not resolved, you're still uncomfortable when you go to work, because y'all, I'm telling you, people can try to make you miserable at work. If it's not like the actual environment, like you're okay, you know, you have everything that you need, except the support from your, you know, higher ups or your more experienced nurses, and you can't talk to them, you just go higher. You talk to your manager. Manager can't fix it, you talk to the director of nursing or the CNO. Whatever you have to do to make the change happen, because it needs to. That type of culture in nursing is not cool, and it's not right at all, and it needs to be obliterated, honestly. And if they had a movement against nurse bullying, honey, I will be on the campaign, okay? Blazing the trail, because it's not right. And I just understand and know the feelings that I had when I started, and I didn't even recognize that was nurse bullying. I just kind of thought like, okay, but it was, looking back in hindsight, it was an older nurse eating her young for whatever reason. So you guys, we talked about nurse bullying, we talked about what it looks like and how we can kind of, you know, navigate our ways through nurse bullying so that, you know, that issue can be a little bit better, and hopefully finding some solutions. And I actually have a video that I'm gonna put right up here for you guys that will tell you basically, you know, the things that you should know before you even start nursing. One of those things in my video, in that video necessarily, will tell you exactly, you know, what to expect before, you know, not even the nurse bullying, but everything else that, you know, you never even thought that you would even have to encounter in nursing. I am so happy that you guys stayed until the very end. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I would truly appreciate that. It will really help out my channel. And until we meet again, honey, you guys will be seeing me next week in another video. Maybe it'll be hair, maybe it'll be nursing, I don't know, but I'll see you guys soon. Bye.